Kitty was a curious cat who loved to observe her boss's every move. She would sit by his side as he worked, watching with wide eyes as he typed away on his computer. But there was one habit of her boss's that Kitty found particularly fascinating: his smoking. Every day, Kitty's boss would step outside for a cigarette break, and Kitty would follow him, watching with interest as he lit up. She didn't know what it was about smoking that seemed so appealing to her boss, but she was determined to find out. One day, while her boss was out of the room, Kitty decided to investigate further. She jumped up onto the desk and sniffed at the pack of cigarettes that her boss had left behind. Then, with a mischievous glint in her eye, she batted at one of the cigarettes, sending it rolling onto the floor. Without hesitation, Kitty picked up the cigarette in her mouth and began to chew on it. She didn't know how to light it, but she was determined to figure it out. Big mistake. As soon as the bitter taste of the cigarette hit her tongue, Kitty knew she had made a terrible mistake. She began to feel sick and dizzy, and she stumbled around the room, trying to find a place to hide. Her boss found her a few minutes later, curled up in a ball and looking very green. "Kitty, what's wrong?" he cried, rushing over to her side. Kitty meowed pitifully, trying to explain that she had made a mistake. Her boss quickly realized what had happened and scooped Kitty up in his arms. "We're going to the hospital, Kitty," he said firmly. "You need to get checked out." Kitty didn't argue. She was too busy feeling sick and sorry for herself. As they arrived at the hospital, Kitty's boss explained the situation to the vet, who quickly took Kitty in for treatment. After a series of tests and a stern lecture from the vet, Kitty was sent home with a clean bill of health. Her boss was relieved, but also a bit amused by the whole situation. "Kitty, you're a silly cat," he said, scratching her behind the ears. "Let's stick to catnip from now on, okay?"